What's up, everyone? I'm Pat Mayo, hoping your Thanksgiving went off without a hitch and that you left a little room for dessert, because I have another delicious installment of Start 'em Sit 'em for your enjoyment. This week, a much maligned running back is in line for a gigantic week, while an upstart at the position needs to take a seat. Who are they? Let's find out. Chris Johnson heads the list of must-starts this week. Riddled with inconsistency as one can be, Johnson is set up to run the ball all over the Jags defense. Jacksonville has been the third most generous unit to opposing running backs this season and simply won't have an answer for Johnson's game-breaking speed. All season long, Andy Dalton's proved in the proper matchup he can be an ultra-valuable fantasy pivot. Against defenses that rank inside the top 10 in points allowed to quarterbacks, Dalton is a perfect 4 for 4 in terms of performance, and now he gets the Raiders, who've given up 93 points the last 2 weeks. Odds there's a section at Candlestick calling themselves Crab People in support for their favorite receiver? Not high enough for my liking, but after a date with the Saints, that bet may be taken off the board. Perpetually inconsistent, Michael Crabtree has started to develop a taste for the end zone, and doing it against the Saints may be his easiest test yet.
Hey fantasy lovers, it's your good friend the Murph from the Murph's famous Bloody Mary mix. Look, when I need fantasy advice, I turn to my good buddies at RotoExperts. When those guys want to kick back and have a few Bloody Marys, well, the solution is simple. They turn to Murph's famous Bloody Mary mix. How can you start partying with the Murph? Well, that's easy too. Just go to murphsfamous.com. That's murphsfamous.com. And remember, friends, one sip makes one believer.
Don't be fooled by James Starks' 25 carries against the Lions. Green Bay will be back to its aerial assault against the Giants. New York has been super stingy to opposing running backs this year, mainly because teams find it much easier to pass all over them, and Starks is no pass catcher. After a mini resurgence 2 weeks ago, Brian Hartline flamed out in a juicy matchup against the Bills, so I can't even imagine what Seattle's shutdown secondary has in store for him. Even in PPR leagues, Hartline needs to ride the pine against the Seahawks. You may be scrambling to fill your tight end slot, but look elsewhere. In his best weeks, Scott Chandler is nothing more than a touchdown vulture. That's likely out of the question against Indianapolis. In games where Rob Gronkowski isn't on the field, the Colts are giving up an average of 3 fantasy points per game to the position. Well, that's all for this week. For fantasy coverage of a more personalized nature, jump over to sportsgrid.com every Tuesday and Thursday, 4 p.m. for my live video chat. Ask me anything because you're gonna get some answers. Until next week, I'm Pat Mayo. Good luck in week 12.